Hi, my name is Leanne, and I'm an addict. I want to welcome everyone to the Thursday night gratitude meeting at VRC 39. I'm going to read some announcements. As our 11th tradition says, our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and film. The primary purpose of our public relations effort is to tell the story of Narcotics Anonymous and what our program offers to the still suffering addict. Members of the press are often attracted to our convention, and we welcome their interest. However, we do not disclose our last names in the media as identifiable members of Narcotics Anonymous. If members of the press approach you, please direct them to a committee member or the committee chair. Statement to the media. If any members of the media are present, we ask you to contact a member of the program committee or visit the registration table. Food statement. Please do not bring outside food into the convention area. Mask policy. Masks are recommended in all public areas and in the meeting workshop rooms. Masks are available at hospitality and registration. All right, let's go ahead and open this meeting with a moment of silence, followed by the Serenity Prayer. Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We will now have some readings from our NA literature. Can I have who is an addict? Come on up. There we go.
My name's Adam. I'm an addict. Most of us do not have to think twice about this question. We know. Our whole life and thinking was centered in drugs in one form or another. The getting and using and finding ways and means to get more. We live to use and use to live. Very simply, an addict is a man or woman whose life is controlled by drugs. We are people in the grip of a continuing and progressive illness whose ends are always the same. Jails, institutions, and death.
Can I have why are we here? Why?
I'm Juan, I'm an addict. Why are we here? Before we come to the fellowship, we could not manage our own lives. We could not live and enjoy life as other people do. We had to have something different, and we thought we found it in drugs. We placed our youth ahead of the welfare of our families, our wives, husbands, and our children. We had to have drugs at all costs. We did many people great harm, and most of all, we harmed ourselves. Through our inability to accept personal responsibilities, we were actually creating our own problems. We seemed to be incapable of facing life on its own terms. Most of us realized that in our addiction, we were slowly committing suicide. But addiction is such a cutting enemy of life that we had lost the power to do anything about it. Many of us ended up in jail or saw help through medicine, religion, and psychiatry. None of those methods were sufficient for us. Our disease always resurfaced or continued to progress until, in desperation, we sought help from each other in Narcotics Anonymous. After coming to NA, we realized we were sick people. We suffer from a disease for which there is no known cure. It can, however, be arrested at some point, and recovery is impossible.
What is the NA program? There he is.
welcome an addict? What is the NA, Narcotics Anonymous program? NA is a non-profit fellowship for society of men and women whose drugs have become a major problem. We are recovering addicts who meet regularly to help each other stay clean. This is a program for complete abstinence from all drugs. There is only one requirement for membership: the desire to stop using. We suggest that you keep an open mind and give yourself a break. Our program is a set of principles written so simply that we can follow them in our daily lives. The most important thing about them is that they work. There are no strings attached to any. You're not affiliated with any or other organization. We have no initiation fees, dues, no pledges to sign, no promises to make to anyone. We are not connected with any political, religious, or law enforcement groups, and are under no surveillance at any time. Anyone may join us regardless of age, race, sexual identity, creed, religion, or lack of religion. We are not interested in what or how much you use, or who your connection is, what you have done in the past, how much or how little you have, but only in what you want to do about your problem, how we can help. The newcomer is the most important person in the meeting because we can only keep what we have by giving it away. We have learned from our group experience that those who keep coming to our meetings regularly succeed. So let me read.
How it works.
My name is Mark. I'm an addict. If you want what we have to offer and are willing to make the effort to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. These are the principles that made our recovery possible. 1, we admitted that we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4, we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, we humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8, we made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, we made direct amends to such people whenever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, we continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, we sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. This sounds like a big order, and we can't do it all at once. We didn't become addicted in one day, so remember, easy does it. There is one thing more than anything else that will defeat us in our recovery. This is an attitude of indifference or intolerance towards spiritual principles. 3 of these that are indispensable are honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. With these, we are well on our way. We feel that our approach to the disease of addiction is completely realistic, for the therapeutic value of one addict helping another is without parallel. We feel that our way is practical, for one addict can best understand and help another addict. We believe that the sooner we face our problems within our society, in everyday living, just that much faster do we become acceptable, responsible, and productive members of that society. The only way to keep from returning to active addiction is not to take that first drug. If you are like us, you know that 1 is too many and 1,000 never enough. We put great emphasis on this, for we know that when we use drugs in any form or substitute one for another, we release our addiction all over again. Thinking of alcohol as different from other drugs has caused a great many addicts to relapse. Before we came to NA, many of us viewed alcohol separately, but we cannot afford to be confused about this. Alcohol is a drug. We are people with the disease of addiction who must abstain from all drugs in order to recover.
And the 12 traditions.
My name is Sonia and I'm an addict. The 12th tradition. We keep what we have only with vigilance, and just as freedom for the individual comes from the 12 steps, so freedom for the group springs from our traditions. As long as the ties that bind us together are stronger than those that would tear us apart, all will be well. 1. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends on NA unity. 2. For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God as He may express Himself. And our group conscience, our leaders are trusted servants, they do not govern. 3. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. 4. Each group should be autonomous except in matters affecting other groups or NA as a whole. 5. Each group has but one primary purpose, to carry the message to the addict who still suffers. 6. An NA group I never endorse, finance, or lend the NA name to any related facility or outside enterprise, lest problems of money, property, or prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7. Every NA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. 8. Narcotics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. 9. NA as such ought never to be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. 10. Narcotics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues. Hence, the NA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11. Our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and film. 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. Understanding these traditions comes slowly over a period of time. We pick up information as we talk to members and visit various groups. It usually isn't until we get involved in service that someone points out that personal recovery depends on NA unity, and that unity depends on how well we follow our traditions. The 12 traditions of NA are non-negotiable. They are the guidelines that keep our fellowship alive and free. By following these guidelines in our dealings with others and society at large, we avoid many problems. That is not to say that our traditions eliminate all problems. We still have to face difficulties as they arise. Communication problems, differences of opinion, internal controversies, and troubles with individuals and groups outside the fellowship. However, when we apply these principles, we avoid some of the pitfalls. Many of our problems are like those that our predecessors had to face. Their hard-won experience gave birth to the traditions, and our own experience has shown that these principles are just as valid today as they were when these traditions were formulated. Our traditions protect us from the internal and external forces that could destroy us. They are truly the ties that bind us together. It is only through understanding and application that they work.
Thank you, everyone, for reading. So the topic for the meeting tonight is gratitude. We have some speakers. They're going to talk about gratitude and what it means to them. And then we're going to open it up for anyone to be able to come up and share what gratitude means to them on this Turkey Day. So I'm going to start out, and I'm going to introduce Allison, and here, I'll bring the mic over there to you guys. You don't have to stand up. Larry, no. Allison and Brian, they met in the program, and they have been together for about 2.5 years, And so we'll go ahead and I'm going to let them speak first. Hey everybody, my name's Allison and I'm Maddox. First of all, I just want to say thanks for letting us be a part of and letting us come be a part of your convention. We are from Survival Group in Florence, Alabama, so it's a treat to be able to come out here and spend some time with you all up here in Memphis, Tennessee. I guess gratitude is a very easy topic, especially on Thanksgiving. I don't know if we're specifically supposed to share what we're grateful about with our partners, but I am grateful for my partner. I don't know if any of you happen to know Brian or on a personal level. We haven't been on down through there, but we are here on the flip side making it today. So I am grateful for a lot today. I was thinking about, Thanksgiving. This is my sixth consecutive Thanksgiving not in the Lauderdale County Detention Center, and so for that I'm grateful today. 7 years ago I did spend in the Lauderdale County Detention Center. Thanksgiving dinner was not a hit there, I'm here to tell you. I'm grateful that I'm thought of to be able to speak and do things like this. I'm grateful that the program has given that to me. I'm grateful for sponsorship and the relationship that I have with my sponsor and my sponsees. I am grateful for the 12 steps, and I'm grateful for my higher power that I'm able to pray to show me how to practice the principles of this program, and for showing me opportunities to do that every day. Just getting together with my family on Thanksgiving today. What a blessing. What a blessing that is. Many Thanksgivings ago, my parents would have to come pick me up from the track house to come have Thanksgiving, and I'm grateful that I didn't have to do that this year, that I got to drive my own car over to their house with prepared dishes that I prepared myself in my own house, with the ingredients that I was able to buy because of the job that I'm able to keep today, because I'm not doing dope anymore. And my son that was in attendance with me, in and of his own accord. He's 19 now, and he gets to do what he wants to. And that wasn't the case for a long time because I don't have custody of him. I haven't had custody of him. And he got to get up this morning and choose to come have Thanksgiving at my house with me and my family. So what a blessing that is. I wanted to go first. I didn't have to share for a very long time. I am mortified right now, in case you cannot tell. Thank you all so much for letting me be a part of your convention, and I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Allison. I'm Brian Maddox. I'm a little bit more serious than she is. Anyway, they told us that we were going to give us some couples counseling, or what'd you say?
Therapy.
I said, y'all dialed the wrong number. Anyway, sharing gratitude about having a couple in a relationship was kind of the way I understood it at first. That it was just gratitude, which gratitude is easy, but I actually want to share a little bit of gratitude about being a couple in recovery, because there's a real blessing in it. I mean, I was told several years ago by a couple that's been married for over 72 years that maybe a successful relationship is just two people that make mistakes and are willing to work it out together. And, that sounds like surrender to me. And I'm really, really grateful that I've got a partner that's in recovery that has made that ultimate surrender as I have. And I'm grateful that she puts forth the effort to remind me every day that I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Because I have to be reminded a lot. And I mean, there's just doing things like this together. I mean, we travel a good little bit thanks to recovery and thanks to you. And everybody that was here before I got here, I mean, I was sleeping in a park. If it wasn't for you guys that were here before I got here, I would have had nowhere to go. And look at me today. I'm sitting right here talking to you guys. I'm no speaker. I don't have any grand advice or grandiose anything. But I've lived a life for the last 9.5 years that I never imagined possible. And I learned from you guys. Lewis, M.F. and Jones, Hawaiian Mike, which he's not Hawaiian, I found out. But, I mean, I've met people all over the United States in this program. I've been to meetings in Mesa, Arizona. We've been to meetings in Key Largo, Florida. I've been to meetings in Toledo, Ohio, Kalamazoo, Michigan. And that's just what this program has brought to me, to us. And I know, just like what Allison shared, I mean, I've got a girl and I've got a son. My son, he's one of us. So, I've talked to him a lot. We got to spend time in jail together a few times. So, yeah, we've kept in contact. But now my daughter, I messed that up really early on, and I went like 9 years without even hearing her voice. And today, for the last few years, as a matter of fact, I get a wake-up message every morning. Good morning, I love you. I get a good night message every night. Good night, I love you. And to me, that just blows my mind. But I would not have that if you hadn't taught me how to have gratitude. I was told real quick that every spiritual principle is an action. And see, I thought just because I made amends with her that she would start calling me and everything would be okay, because, I was truly honest, and I just opened up and told her it was my fault. It had nothing to do with her. I was just a mess up. And I was involved in something that I did some bad things. And that didn't work. Matter of fact, 2 years after I made my amends, I would hear from her just every once in a while. But I remembered what I was told. Every spiritual principle is an action thing. So I started texting her every morning, good morning. I started texting her every night, good night. I was showing my gratitude for her. I didn't really understand at the time, but I was doing it. And now I get that back. If you don't get it from me first, I get it from her. And y'all taught me that. That's things I did not know. There's so much gratitude that I have for this program, for you guys that are in it, the ones that came before me and the ones that fill a seat now, because I didn't just need you back then. I'm going to need you tonight. I'm going to need you tomorrow. I'm going to need you the next day. I got to have y'all. I'm so grateful for y'all being here. I'm so grateful for you asking this junkie to come up here and sit and talk to y'all, because that's beyond me too. But I love y'all. And I'm really grateful to be here. I'm really grateful to be here with my partner in crime. Well, maybe we don't do crime anymore. We haven't broken any laws in quite some time. Yeah. Because she reminds me that I don't know what I'm doing. But thank y'all for allowing us to be here. Love y'all.
Thank you guys for sharing. Now I'm going to go ahead and introduce our other couple that we have asked to share. This is Debbie and Larry H., who also met in recovery and have been together for 20 years in recovery. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to you guys.
All right. Larry at it. I'm grateful I'm not standing in front of that podium. So 36 years ago, I attended my first VRC, and that poster outside got VRC 3 on it. I had 90 days clean. At that convention, I was given an actual 90-day medallion, which I still have. And for me, I know it's a treasure for me. I can honestly say out loud that convention kept me clean for a long while afterwards. I had no idea what the hell was going on for that first 90 days, but that convention was so damn powerful. The impact that had on, oh my God, man, that kid coming back thing blew me away. amazed that people cared that much. And there was some dude that had like 1 day cleaning. They gave him a basic text, and these people hugged him, and I thought, oh my God, I'm glad that's not me. But I thought it was amazing, and the closing of that ceremony was on the top of this hotel, and it was, I think for the next month I stayed clean just because. And then everything got shitty again, but for that 30-day period, I was incredibly amazed. My wife was not my wife back then, but she was literally at my very first meeting 36 years ago. I do remember that for some weird reason. And there are a few people that are still around today that were here then. I have been fortunate enough to stay clean since that time. So since 1985, I am still here. Some of the reasons I'm still here are y'all. I have not done this alone. I did not want to do this. This was not appealing to me, and some days it still isn't. The action stuff, the work part. I love all the benefits of recovery. It's the working part that I'm not so much a fan of sometimes. And, you know, Tammy, well, I actually didn't agree to do this. My wife agreed for me to do this. But what I was told I was going to talk about was what my gratitude for actually being in a relationship with someone in the program, and I have to say that has been a monumental, awesome thing for me. I hate saying this stuff out loud sometimes. My wife is actually better at doing this stuff than I am. She is an amazing example in my household. I don't know that I would get up and read the Just for Today every day out loud if it wasn't for my wife. I don't know that I would wake up and say, what are you grateful for? If it wasn't for my wife. I don't know what it's like in everybody else's house, but we actually do this stuff in my home, and we do talk about the program all the time, and it's part of what has kept us together, but it's also what's kept me moving upward. I mean, Debbie used to share, well, she still does. It used to annoy me for years. It did. She used to always share in meetings, if you're not moving forward, you're going backwards. And that used to piss me off, because even before we were ever together, she used to say that, and I'd go, man, shut up. You know, can't I just cruise and hang out right here? And I consistently used to get to a level where I thought it was cool, and I just wanted to hang there. And I didn't realize I was falling back, and I've got to say, my wife keeps me from going back, and it is a badass thing to have someone in my life that knows me that well, but it's also sharing her own honesty and sharing her recovery with me, and it helps me be a better person, and it's helped me definitely to be a better recovering addict. I'm not going to say that that's the prescription, because I was married before to another recovering addict, and that did not go so well. I am grateful for that, though. I am grateful for that, because I did learn that even though that did not go well, I stayed clean through it, and I was still able to learn something from somebody else. But I'm tired. It's going to be your turn. I'm so grateful for this program, and grateful that I have the life that I have today. That first convention, I had my idea of what staying clean looked like to me was that I might actually keep a job for like a whole year without getting fired. I think I'd had 38 jobs in a 2-year time frame. So I thought if I could just do that, and I had no idea of the abundance and what I could actually achieve in my life I didn't have a clue. It's kind of
it's limitless. And my life has been pretty awesome. I mean, I've had some downs, but I've had some amazing times, and I thank you, and I thank y'all. That's it. I'm shutting up.
I'm Debbie. I'm an addict. What can I say? You know, I was thinking about gratitude, and you know, he's right. We get up every day. Whoa, am I hearing me? Yeah. Okay. And you know, we talk about it, and we do this, and we think about it, and you know, if one of us, it's so easy to go down. It's like it's so much easier, or was for me, to go down the negative path, you know, and then to just keep, you know, talking about people and judging and going and blah. And today, through working this and just working on being more grateful and you know, I don't have to do that. And we talk about these things, and it's so good to have like someone in my life that we can talk about these things, and you know, that we actively are working to be better people on a regular basis. And you know, when I first got clean, I got, you know, that's like the old timer thing. When I first got clean, back when I came, you know, started this program, you know, back in the day. But you know, I was like, I came in the program in treatment in November of '81, and it was like, so about 2 weeks clean. I attended it wasn't the literature convention, or when we put the Third World Conference, the literature conference. It wasn't that. It was when all the people were getting together and putting the books together, and so we could mail them and send them out all over the world to be, you know, voted on and read and you know, approved. And I remember sitting in there, and this treatment center I was in took us there and like dropped us off. And we were, you know, with these folks that were like from all over and had like actually like a couple of years clean, you know, like they had a little bit of time. And for me, with 2 weeks, it was like, this is a freaking miracle. I can't, you know, and they were like the people that I had just used with, you know. It was like we were like all the same age, and I had gone to the other program, and that was not good, you know, when they take and vote on whether you can stay in a meeting, you know. It was a different world back then, you know. I hadn't been back. So, and this is where I got my recovery, is NA, and I love NA, and I know that I don't have to use today. I believe in what we do. I love the people and the grassroots efforts we have to get things together, and you know, now I'm getting off on another tangent. I can keep going down the road here, but this is where I get my gratitude from helping and being a part of this, and this is my gratitude in action. And I had a friend send me something yesterday about, you know, how to get gratitude when you don't feel grateful, or whatever, when, you know, things are shitty. So, and you know, I enjoyed reading that because it was, it did talk about the physical parts of gratitude and the positive thinking and the fact that the gratitude, with gratitude, all the other virtues, you can get those things. That it's like the main virtue, you know? And because if I'm grateful where I am and with what I have, and in my world, I'm not worried about or judging what other people have. You know, I'm like, I'm okay in my skin. I have humility. I'm good with you. And this is, this is something that I think, I've gotten through recovery. Or I'm getting through recovery. I'm very, very glad. I'm so excited to be here. It's going to be an awesome weekend. A lot of people put in a lot of work, and I think I'm done. So, thank you all. Okay, now we'll go ahead and open the meeting up to our topic of gratitude on this Thanksgiving Day. And I welcome anybody that wants to, Paula. Yeah.
Hey y'all, I'm Paul J. and I'm an addict.
Hey, country!
That's right. Country's a sack of beans and I'm okay with it today. I was talking to another addict earlier about the age and when we get clean and stuff like that, and I said, hell, I didn't get clean till I was 64 and I'm okay with it. And I'm going to keep this brief. I'm not going to make this a speaker meeting, okay, so y'all don't start freaking out. However, I was a low-bottom addict. I wasn't one of those women that sat around in front of my TV and just took a few pills, and had some liquid. No, I did some stuff, But a little over 3 years ago, when I finally made that 100% surrender, I was fortunate enough to go to a halfway house for women that's run by a friend of mine who's got like decades in the other fellowship. She's one of the thirsty people. And I was so grateful for that opportunity. And with 5 months clean, I became the house manager there. And I did that for almost 3 years. And you talk about an opportunity to practice principles before personalities. Try living with a bunch of newcomers, 24/7. But it gave me a place to get a solid foundation in my recovery and get active in the fellowship and active in my recovery and reclaiming my life. So, fast forward, I'm still at the halfway house. Last fall, I was working as a dispatcher for a local cab company. I'm like, damn, if I'm going to work, I want my work life to mean something. So I set about to become a certified peer recovery specialist. In the last 2 weeks of January, I took that training. It was all online, of course, then. So I finished that, and in February I got hooked up with an organization here in Memphis called the Heart Center. That's where I went for IOP 3 years ago. And they allowed me to do my on-the-job training with them because I needed 75 hours of on-the-job training to do the peer recovery specialist thing. Okay, so cool. So I'm doing that online, and I've finally got to a place where I just know that my higher power, everything I need is coming. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to stress. I don't try to, control, manipulate, or make stuff happen because I know it's coming. So I did the last IOP, the last of those 75 hours. Less than 30 minutes after I logged off, the CEO and the head of the two heads of that heart center called me and offered me a job, y'all. They offered me a job. And then Dr. James said, oh, and by the way, we want to help you get your LADAC certification and we want to help you pay for it. And at that point, the gratitude was leaking out of my eyes. My throat was tight, and I said, look, I am overwhelmed with gratitude right now. I got to call y'all back tomorrow. So I called those folks back the day after. We negotiated the salary, which was like, woo! I've been able to do that in a very long time, and I started working there with those folks, and it's fantastic. So a few months ago, I came to the place that I thought it was time for me to leave the halfway house, to go on to the next chapter of my life. And again, I'm waiting because I know that God's going to show me when and where I need to go. Now, I had been kind of looking online at places, on the internet and stuff. And I'm from Memphis, so there's a lot of the neighborhoods I could just cross off my list immediately. I ain't living in Nutbush or Fraser or the Mound or the Hamp and none of them places. So, I was fulfilling a H&I commitment on September the 27th, and I was out there at that facility, and I was talking to these young people, and I had told them about, how my higher power had given me that awesome job, and how it was just fantastic, and how I felt like it was time for the next chapter in my life, but I knew that HP would let me know when and where. So I get up to this facility, and before I got out of the car, I did what I was trained to do, and that was to pray. And I said, God, give me the words to say. Don't let me say anything that doesn't need to be said, and let your will be done. So I'm in there, and I'm talking to those folks, and I actually said these words about my next home. I actually said, I know that one of these days somebody's going to call me up and say, hey, I got a 2-bedroom duplex for rent at High Point. It's a nice area of Memphis. I hadn't even been thinking about High Point. It's a safe area. It's very desirable. So at the close of the meeting, this young woman who worked at the facility came up to me and she said, oh, Poe, I got something to tell you. You're not going to believe this. She said, I'm calling my landlord tomorrow to give my 30-day notice. I got a 2-bedroom duplex in High Point. And she said, I couldn't wait for the meeting to be over so I could come and tell you. She said, when you said High Point, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I said, hell, mine's standing up right now. It was just fantastic. So I took her number, and that night, I called her and we talked, and after the meeting, she had been driving the women that were in treatment back to their apartment, and she said, did y'all hear that? She didn't say a 2-bedroom duplex in Bartlett. She didn't say a 2-bedroom duplex in Germantown. She said a 2-bedroom duplex in High Point. So the next day, the landlord started texting me, and about 2 weeks later, he came by the halfway house and brought me my lease, and on Saturday, November the 6th, I moved into my own home for the first time in many, many years, y'all. And not only, listen, y'all, girls, it is my colors. The walls are sage, and the tile in the bathroom is peach. Those are my colors. And since there have been so many times since I moved in that place, y'all, I sit there and I look around, and the gratitude just leaks out of my eyes. I think, oh God, look what you've done for me. A dope fiend criminal like me, a low-bottom addict like me, in just a little over 3 years. Look what you've done. Now, my friend who lives down in Louisiana, I got to go several months ago down to Louisiana to see a friend of mine. We've been friends since I was 18 years old. Y'all do the math. That's a long time. Because I was trained to make direct amends wherever possible. I went down there to make a direct financial amends to my friend. And she asked me while I was down there, well, are you dating anybody? I said, are you kidding? I don't want to put in the time and the effort and do all that kind of stuff. I said, you know what? I believe that if my higher power wants me to have a partner, he's going to groom him for me, and he's going to send it to me. And that'll be great. But if he doesn't, I'm going to be all right, too. Because you know what? I'm never alone and never again. Because I got folks like y'all to help a low-bottom addict like me to get a little over 3 years. And I'm so grateful. I'm so very grateful to when I left that facility on September 27th and got in my car, I looked up and I said, oh God, you really freaking me out now. You're really freaking me out now. Because I knew at that moment, I knew that was my home that I was going to be moving to. So I just wanted to share that with y'all because I think it's just freaking amazing. Thank you so much.
Do I have someone else who wants to share on gratitude? Do you want me to come to you, or are you coming up here?
Randy, I'm an addict. I have an attitude of gratitude today. I appreciate the panel. They say if you don't appreciate what you got, try to imagine life without it. Today, I think I'm 27 years clean. I was talking to one of y'all, Lenise, she's picking up 24 today. I remember when I had 30 days, I can remember jonesing and geeking and they told me just to keep coming back, you know, and I can remember pulling this tray out from underneath my couch and drinking and drugging every day of my life and just wanting the monkey off my back. And they told me, just keep coming back, more will be revealed. I didn't know when it was going to happen to me, but I knew I wanted something different in my life. And my total called my sponsor, you know, I had about 90 days clean. I went back out and used. I called my sponsor. I said, I used again. He said, no, you didn't, buddy. And I said, how come? He said, because you have to have a program in order to use. You ain't in the program. I told him I might get clean today. He said, you know what that means? I said, no. Might, he said, the bug on the chicken's ass. Anytime you sit and fool around with this program, there might not be a tomorrow. You know, I buried 2 or 3 people this week around our area, and people keep dropping like flies. You know, just recently in our home group, we had a girl that come in, we told her she was high. See, we're each other's eyes and ears. And we told her she was high, and she brought her kids to the meeting with her. And we told her she was high, and then the people from my home group went to her funeral. And I watched her little boy try to climb up in a casket with her. So I told myself, when I come into a Narcotics Anonymous meeting, it is about business. And I have no right to judge anybody in these rooms, because people that judge don't matter, and people matter don't judge, because I don't know what you carried up in here with you tonight. I do know hurt people, but we're just trying to get to the other side sometimes, you know what I mean? And I can remember, you know, my sponsor was Bob Kay from Knoxville. Last year, he went through cancer and chemo, and then he had a heart attack, and then he got back from all that stuff, and he came home, and he choked on a sandwich, man, and died. This is my sponsor, man, last year. This year, he would have picked up 40 years. So, if you don't appreciate what you got today, try to imagine life without it. You know, you don't know when people are hurting in here. It's your responsibility. Our primary purpose is to carry the message to the addict that still suffers. Anything after that is bullshit. That is our primary purpose. What are you doing to help the newcomer? You know, I could be in this room, I could come into my home group and talk about, my sponsor always says, why don't you talk about what's really going on? Because if you can't reveal it, you can't heal it. There's more actors in Narcotics Anonymous now in Hollywood. But the only way you're doing it is acting yourself out that door right there. I'm a little pissed off because I'm tired of burying people. Some people get it when the dirt hits them in the face. I just want to stay clean today, and I love everybody because you're just like me. I'd rather be in an NA meeting wanting to get high than the dope house wanting to get clean. So I love you because you're like me, just like me. Look at the similarities in here, not the differences. Don't be so focused on what could run you up out of here. Be focused on what run you up in you. We love you until you love yourself. You better get passionate about this program. Was you passionate about when you went and talked? I just drove 8 hours to get here today because I want my recovery. And recovery is my responsibility. You can't sit around and hesitate for recovery to happen to you. You have to get off your ass and work this program. I love you because you're just like me. Thanks.
hugging each other, or, yeah, come on. Well, it's a beautiful thing. Come on, come on up here.
Hello, my name is Walter Manatic, and I'm from New Orleans. You know, I came all over here. First of all, you know, I've been in this program for many years, and you know, that's a gratitude that I was able to come back at 58. Like the lady say, I'm old fart too, you know. But you know, the thing is, you know, I'm grateful that made another birthday, and I'm gonna live. Okay. Also, last year I was hit with COVID. Okay, I was in a hospital for 2 months, very low on oxygen, and you know, I survived that. You know, when I got out the hospital, I thought I'd be hooked up to supplemental oxygen for the rest of my life. You know, but my higher power, you know, and with faith, you know, which y'all taught me, that faith was the foundation. You know, I broke through that. You know, so today, take my inhalants and try to take care of myself. I don't do a very good job. You know, I try to do the best I can. But you know, COVID taught me something. It taught me a lot about the thing that we take for granted, the breath of air, you know, and the lungs. And I had to look back at how many times I hit that pipe, you know, and how it affected my lungs. Okay, so today, you know, I said, wow, you know, if I went back out there and hit the pipe again, you know, I may close my lungs up for totally, you know, because my lungs are getting back together. They're not perfect, you know, so I have to rebuild, you know, the ability to breathe, you know, and that's what I learned how to do when I was in the hospital. I had to learn how to breathe, all right, step by step. You know, I remember the doctors asked me, okay, well, you know, do you want to be intubated? I didn't know what the fuck that meant. But I said, no, hell no, I don't want to be intubated, you know, put on a ventilator. So I took it the hard way, and those nurses taught me how to, you know, breathe again. And those things, and when I hit that pipe, shit, you know, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, you know. So, you know, I just got those things to be grateful for. I have a career to retire from, you know, hopefully in the next year, you know, so that's because I decided to keep coming back, you know. You know, that was a benefit, you know, that's a blessing. So thanks for letting me share.
Good stuff. Coming, Kermit?
My name's Kermit, I'm an addict from Charlottesville, Virginia. Where the KKK marched down the street singing, Jews won't replace us, and I think, why would I want to replace you, you dumb redneck motherfucker? Well, I was listening to the woman talk about the miracles. You know, we have a saying that I don't believe in miracles, I depend on them. That convention the guy was talking about, the third VRC, my first NA sponsor, Joseph, asked me and another sponsee, brother Mike Paul, to be the Sunday speakers. What a mistake that was. So I made a commitment to go to only NA like 6 months before that, so I got up there with my ego and gave him a great little AA drug-along. You could hear a pin drop, it was that fucking bad. the miracle of recovery is that I'm going to be your Sunday morning speaker again. And I promise you, I won't give you that kind of story. I was going to give you a moment or two of gratitude because not everybody's here, right? I'd like to talk about humility, but there aren't enough people here. Everyone in my family got clean after me. In the last 2 years, I've buried 3 sisters, one with 34 years, one with 14 years, and my baby stepsister, who lived through my stepmother's alcoholism, had just picked up her 1-year medallion, and she had pneumonia and couldn't get out of the bed, and she died. And my baby brother, Henry's got 35 years clean. My father remarried my stepmother's aunt, just celebrated 35 years. And my older sister, the bitch, the older one's always a bitch, right? She's got 14 years in Al-Anon. So I'm grateful. And I wanted to share the song that I share when I finish singing. And I heard it in Georgia in 1982. This woman, Gail, from Nashville, wrote it, and I asked her if I could sing it when I share, and she said, "Oh, it's a gift from God, pass it on." My gratitude speaks when I care and share with others the same way. It sums up everything I believe about Narcotics Anonymous, and it goes like this. Someone introduced us somewhere, I don't remember now. I guess we started speaking, but I don't know what about. Michael was from Florida, by way of NYC, and from that moment on, he became a friend to me. Well, I always used to see him, sometimes we'd drop by, and every time he'd be alone trying to get high. The high was never high enough, he tried day after day, and helplessly I watched the spirit simply slip away. God, he used to sit and brag, the money and the dope he had, but I just can't forget how sad Michael looked to me. Well, I read the evening papers, they called it heart attack, but I know damn full and well he overdosed on smack. So now the party's over, they've gone and rented out his space. I never will quite forget the look on Michael's face. God, he used to sit and brag, the money and the dope he had, but I just can't forget how sad Michael looked to me. Well, I'd like to say in closing, the story's sad but true. And somewhere lives a Michael in me and all of you. And I am deeply grateful for what I have today, because I would be where he is if it wasn't for NA. Thanks.
My name is Sharon, and I'm a grateful recovering addict. And I am grateful to be in Memphis. This is my first time in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm here to visit my girlfriend. I've been waiting for her to invite me to Memphis, and she finally did. And I'm going to tell you something. I got some gratitude for being here. Because you got, I changed the person that I brought in here. Because if not, I wouldn't be here. I'd be in jail because I'd be on the Atlantic, Georgia airport out. How about getting off the plane at 12:30 and they telling you your life has been canceled and you got to leave at 9:15? Okay, so they changed that. But the point of the matter is that I was patient. I didn't go off. The police didn't come. I didn't get arrested. And that's all due to Narcotics Anonymous because I changed the person that I brought in here. The only way we can get clean is to change the people, the places, and things. And in the last 15 years of my life, I've been divorced. My ex-husband got paralyzed. My dad died. My mom died. My son was killed and my daughter developed a schizophrenic disease, and I'm still here. That's some gratitude. I have not found a reason to pick up. I'm still here. Thank you for letting me share.
Do I have anybody else that wants to share on gratitude on this beautiful Thursday evening? Thanksgiving 2021. Most of us spent 2020 alone. Thanksgiving, so nice that we can all be here together with our masks on our wrists.
I'm Sonia, I'm an addict. I'm so grateful for this program. Words can't really express how grateful I am for this program, because if it wasn't for this program, I would be dead. Literally. I'm a meth addict, a recovering meth addict, and alcoholic, and yada yada yada, whatever. Multitude of things. Anyway, you know, I was a sick addict, okay, and this program taught me I didn't have to be that way. You know, it taught me how to be a friend. It taught me how to be a wife, okay, which I still can't believe I'm fucking married. Can't believe that one. Happened when I was 40, how old am I? 46, right? Right, okay, yeah, 46. And, you know, and I have really good friends today. I mean, I'm originally from California. Don't ever go there, I'm just saying. Gas is like $5 fucking something a gallon, I'm just saying. And everybody sucks. They're fucking rude, okay? They really are. And I come here to Tennessee, right? Y'all are so nice. Call me ma'am and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? Waving at me and shit when I'm driving down the road. I'm like, fuck, I don't know you. You know what I mean? Like, tripping out, right? But man, you know, I've been here, me and my husband have been here since November of last year. And we've both been in recovery now for about 5.5 years. Because of this program, we met in recovery. We have a wonderful relationship. He's my best friend. We could talk to each other about anything. You know, and I like to tell him he doesn't know shit either, so just saying. But you know, like, it taught me how to be a good wife, though. It taught me how to listen, you know, and it taught me how to get out of myself, you know. And since I completed 12, I think it took me 5 years, y'all. Don't recommend it. It took me 5 years to complete all 12 steps for the first time, just to say. Because I was happy where I was, right? Like, I think when I got here last year, I think I was on step fucking 3. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to look at me, right? And I didn't. And then when I got my new sponsor, you know, when I moved here, I had to go do the steps all over again, right? From step 1, I'm like, okay, I guess I can do that. Then I got the fucking workbook. 67 questions, y'all, in the first fucking step, okay? And I'm like, I hate to read, y'all, okay? But I'm just like, what the fuck? Then my sponsor's like, read out the glue book. Then you gotta read out the how and why book. Then you gotta do this. I'm like, fuck that. Right? Like, oh my God, I'm gonna die right now. You know? But then it's because I'm thinking, you know, I'm not thinking, you know, I don't have to read it all in one day, you know what I mean? And stuff. And then, you know, we were just, then I just got on a roll, you know? And when I completed the 12 steps, my life changed. I was no longer at this level. You know what I mean? I got my GED in 2018, I was attending Modesto Junior College in California, and I got my AA in chemical dependency, you know what I mean? But still ain't got a fucking job in chemical dependency, right? And then we call it different, and we call it a CST, not an what do you call it? LVAC or LVAC or whatever. Or LAVAC, there you go. And so I mean, I have a job right now, and it's okay for now, but I'm just grateful that I have one, and I'm grateful that without this program I wouldn't have been able to buy my first house, y'all. Just bought it like last month. You know what I mean? And it's a 3-bedroom and 2-bath, and it's just 2 of us, right? But it was perfect, because I have grandkids, and stuff, and then, I wouldn't have been able to do none of that without this program, because I had such little self-esteem, that I tried to take my own life, but I was almost successful at it. And then I still didn't fucking learn, right? I was in a coma for 3 days, and then the day after I get out of my coma, I'm trying to rip the cords out so I can go and get high again, because I didn't finish the fucking job, And this program taught me I don't have to fucking be that way anymore. I don't have to hate myself. I don't have to, I get to love myself today, and I have people that love me, that honestly fucking love me, not just saying I love you, you know what I mean? That honestly love me. And without my new sponsor, he's right over there, by the way, with the beanie on. He's a miracle to me. I'm serious. He is so about this program, and sometimes I get pissed off because he can literally tell you word for word what's on page 72, right? And then I have to look at the book, right? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because I don't read it like that. I probably should read it like that, but I don't. I don't know. Anyway, now I'm just rambling, but I'm very grateful for this program, and if you're a newcomer and, just coming in, we'll love you too, so love yourself, because that's what happened to me. So, anyway, that's all right.
I want to hear some more about gratitude. Who wants to share about gratitude?
My name is Terry, and I am Addie. And I thank God for this program. I tell you, I'm glad to be here to hear that people coming from all over the world to an NA convention. I tell you, I came from a place that's far, far away from here. I'm from Memphis. Y'all laughing, but if y'all knew the hole that I had to climb out of to get to this program, it took me a long time to get here. I was down in the deep hole in a dark place. But I thank God that I made it out, because I didn't even realize that you can do things in the daytime. I was up all night doing my work, and when the daytime came, I slept. But I found out that God's grace is sufficient. And when I got here to this program, I learned that if you work those steps, you can find out more about yourself than you ever known. I found out who I was, that I was worth something, and that life could get better. That's why I want to welcome all of you here. And being that this is part of my town, if I can help you out with anything, feel free to ask. I'm a part of one of the best groups in the city, the Unity Group, And we're here to serve y'all because we're all family. And we want you to make you feel like family by joining us here this weekend. And I've had a real exciting holiday because I've worked real hard. And it feels good to know that you've been productive and made some people happy. The gratitude I have is helping others. I get a lot of gratitude by seeing folks smile, seeing folks happy, because that makes me happy. And that's what this weekend is about. Learning more about ourselves and getting to know each other, because I want to meet some of y'all. I want to know how it is where you're from. I want to know what you like to eat, what you like to do, because cooking is one of my professions. And I just retired this year as a chef for 26 years at Colonial Country Club. And we're going to try to show our Southern hospitality here in Memphis. And we want to welcome you, want to thank you for coming, and hope that everyone is pleased with what we have to offer. And with us together, we can make this a great weekend. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Hey family, my name is Dawn and I'm a grateful recovering addict. Gratitude. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I was given an opportunity to sit still for a while, come in out that deep hole that I was in, and find a new way of life. I'm more grateful for the peace that I have in my life right now. I have a lot of joy and a lot of peace. I have 22 years clean, and ever since I came into the room, I've been on this pink cloud. They said it. You can't stay on the pink cloud forever, but I plan on staying on mine forever because that's my choice. And whatever you want in this program, you have to choose to do it. You know, it just don't come. You can't get it from somebody else. It's not transferable. Recovery is not. And anything that you want in this program, you got to go for it. Everybody wants something different from the program, and all of us want the same thing from the program, to have some freedom from active addiction, one day at a time. And that's what I've done perfectly for 22 years. Everything else I might have messed up several times, but I didn't use not one time in 22 years. I've done some really crazy stuff, dealing with newcomers, dealing with old-timers, dealing with females, dealing with males, dealing with whatever I did, right? I did. But I didn't use behind. And then today I've learned that I don't have to do something strange for a little change. Well, that's unless I want to. You know, I have a choice about that too. You know, so I still can do something strange for a little change, but it's going to be because I want to. It's not going to be because I had to just to get one more, right? So I'm grateful today. I'm really grateful that I can wake up smiling no matter what goes on. Today I had to leave the hotel because Sharon's plane was late. I got here, I was not happy with my room at all because I have allergies and I wasn't happy, and I actually changed, and it was kind of a little bit of a difficulty, so I left the hotel. I said, let me go pray. And I prayed. She said she was going to pray, and we prayed. When we got back, they had changed our room, right? They had changed our room, but they kept telling me they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. When I know you could do it, because I was one of the first people to get here, right? So they could have just changed that room, and I would have been happy. And I actually said, I said, look, I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just trying to be comfortable. I need to be comfortable. I have a hearing disability, so when I came in, I told the people at the desk that I need to sit on the front row because I wear hearing aids and I can't sit way in the back and hear. So when I need something, I ask for it. I let somebody know there's a problem. Can you help me with it? I'm not afraid to ask for help. I learned that from this program. I learned, you know, if you need something, you got to ask somebody. Nobody knows you're hurting unless you tell them that you're hurting. You have to let somebody know what's really going on with you. And you got to get gussed up. I'm transparent. I tell everything. I be like telling everything on myself. Might tell your business, might tell my business. So it's okay for me because secrets keep you sick. And when you expose things, it comes to the light. and then you're free. I'm free today, y'all. I'm free. I travel a lot. I don't have no job, and I travel a lot because a lot of people want me to come visit them, and they got the money. I don't have money. They have some, so they just pay my way. And since I'm not working, I just go. My son-in-law said, "Now, I'm gonna get that job you got when I get grown like you." I'm like, "Okay, you gotta get that job, right?" But I'm grateful that I have changed my life so people want to see me. They want to see me coming. They don't be like, "Oh Lord, he's coming again. What you want now, right?" They call me and ask me. Sometimes I don't even want to go when I go. I'm like, "Okay, I'll come." And I'm just grateful that I've been afforded the opportunity to do a lot of things. I've worked in a lot of different areas because I stayed in Virginia for 25 years before I came home to Memphis because I needed to stay. Because there were some people here that I used to trick with that I thought they still owed me some money. So I was coming back, and I know that if I got with some guys, I was going to try to do some same thing for some change. And I can keep that money in my pocket now. So I stayed away for a long time, y'all, so I didn't come back with that same behavior that I left you with. That same behavior that I was doing when I was out there. So now, I took care of myself. And then people that help me, they help me for no reason at all. They don't expect anything from me. I don't have to do anything for them to help me, but they say, "Glad to see me coming." That's a miracle for an addict like me. Because I ain't nobody put up their purse when I come in the room no more. They don't do things like that anymore, and I'm just grateful. I have peace in my life, and that's the one thing that means is more valuable to me than anything in the world, is to just have peace and to be able to live in the skin that I'm in. I don't have to be you. I don't have to be you. My story is my story. I may not have made it through your story, and you may not have made it through my one. You may not be able to walk in my shoes. I'm glad that I'm only one person. I'm only going to try to be one person. I'm going to keep on doing this thing one day at a time. And I just ask my higher power, just please give me one more day, every day. I pray, one more day. And I keep doing what I need to do. Just don't pick up, no matter what. And that's what I do on a daily basis. And I'm grateful that there's a place that I can go that have people just like me. And that'll be everybody in here. And I love everybody in this room. It doesn't matter to me. I have a lot of love, and I give it freely because people gave it to me when I came into these rooms. I was so scared. They said, "Just let go and let God." They said miracles happen. Stay green and grow. All these little cliches they were saying, I grabbed hold to that stuff, and I ran with it, right? And I'm still here today, and I'm just grateful. And I'm grateful for everybody here. Thanks for letting me share.
We're getting us some gratitude tonight.
I'm an addict called Savvy. I'm grateful for one more day clean, grateful for this moment, and thanks to Narcotics Anonymous. Otherwise, it would not have been possible. I got clean halfway across the world in Bombay, India, and when I got clean, there was just one group in the entire country. And then I moved to US and when I was about 4 years clean. What I want to share about my first convention in Memphis, I don't remember, it was VRC probably 18, it was in 1998. But I vividly remember everything about the convention. The Friday night speaker was Bob B. The Saturday night speaker was Garth P. from Australia. And Sunday morning was Freddie A. from California. And Freddie has passed and Bob B. has passed. And it was an incredible experience for me. And I got to meet Joe P. for the first and the only time at the convention. And I experienced so much love from that particular convention in Memphis. It was such a special convention. Many of us are really passionate about this program. I am too. But we need more NA soldiers. And Joe P. was one of those NA soldiers. And I'm really grateful to Memphis for their part in putting a book together, with the 40th anniversary of the Memphis Literature Conference. And I'm just grateful for everything that this program has given me, and I love you all. Thanks.
And just so everyone knows, we'll be having our archives that we have pulled, and we'll be having those on display in the Audubon room over there on Friday and Saturday. So make sure and look at the hours and take a look at some of that historical literature, mementos that we have here in Memphis. Thank you. We're dwindling down. I know, but it felt good after I'd been running around, and now I'm kind of cold. I'm my sweater. Are you going to share, Mark? Mark's got his parka on.
I'm Mark, I'm an addict. I do have my parka on. I don't know if I'm alone, but it's cold in here to me. If you're not from Memphis, I'll just tell you, though, be grateful for the fact that we have this over Thanksgiving weekend and not in July. I'm just going to talk a minute. I'm not like some of the speakers here. I don't get up in the morning and have a fixed time that I read something or think about that. That probably would be good for me, but I guess I don't have the discipline to do that, and I'm usually pretty out of it when I wake up in the morning. But I do remember every day. I am completely conscious of the fact that everything I have is because I have been here with you folks for a while. I was told about NA. At the beginning, I had no choice. I was forced to attend a certain number of meetings a week, and I kind of found a home in NA. That's where I was comfortable. But it didn't take me very long to figure out that was my one and only path back to a decent life and to possibly avoid death. And I am very aware of that, and that's sort of my fundamental gratitude. And I never want to forget that, because that's so important to my recovery. If I were to forget that, it would not be very long before I might be one of these folks people have talked about in here that passed on. Because I know I could not do it on my own. I'm absolutely certain of that. And so that's kind of my gratitude. Somebody mentioned COVID, and I just wanted to say something about that, because that's been sort of an extra layer of gratitude for me. I'm 68 years old. I have high blood pressure. I have a high stress job. I've got my doctors love me. They've made a fortune off me, and I'm immune compromised. So when this all started, I was told to be extra careful, and of course the meetings kind of shut down anyway. But I probably wouldn't have gone in person. And remarkably, everybody found a way to continue to have meetings and to attend them as much as possible like in person, and that was a lifesaver for me. And I actually have attended more meetings during COVID than I had been before that, because it's so easy and I'm lazy. I'm going to close with one little sort of story about that and about what this has done for me. Those of you who know me know that I have some kids, and one of them is a daughter, and it's the same daddy's daughter. She's like extra precious to me. When she was born, she just absolutely stole my heart. I have felt that way about her ever since then. In 2004, my home was completely dysfunctional. I was hardly ever there. I had a spouse who already had some issues of her own, which I had made much worse by my behavior. The banker was knocking on the door wanting to know where the mortgage payment was, and it finally got to the point where my family wanted to be away from me so bad that they moved out of a pretty good sized house where we had 5 people living and a bunch of animals, and went and stayed at the Courtyard by Marriott. All of them crunched in there, and I'm in this house and, out of my mind. But I was, at that time in 2004, I remember, I was kind of in the last stages of active addiction, and I was somewhere with this person that I had no business being with. She was over fixing up some stuff that we could do, and I kept getting texts from my daughter. Daddy, please come home. Please come home. Please call me. Things are horrible. And it was more important to me in the throes of active addiction to stay there in that place with that person fixing up our next hit than to go and take care of my daughter. More important to me. That's a horrible place to be. Fast forward to 2019, my daughter has moved to Chicago. She had this dog that she just absolutely loved. I mean, this dog was very special to her. And it's real cold in Chicago, a little colder than it is in here right now. And she didn't want the dog to go through the winter up there, so she brought the dog down and said, Dad, would you keep the dog over the winter, and I'll come get her in the spring? And I said, okay, sure. So March rolls around, and we all know what happened. And I said, look, I know you want her back real bad. I'll get in the car, drive her up there, turn around and drive back. We don't have to even, hug. And she said, no, Dad, you're there, you're by yourself, you're working a program, I live in an apartment by myself, and I want you to have it. This is the same daughter that I would have rather been fixing up the next hit in 2004 than respond to her, and she knew that, and she was so mad at me about that, and yet in 2020, she would want her dog, who she loved, probably as much as I love her. She may love the dog more than she does me, but she wanted that dog to stay with me. Same daughter, but what's different about it was me. And y'all are the reason. So thanks for letting me share.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to make some announcements. We've got some great workshops starting tomorrow. We're going to start with a Just for Today meditation. We got workshops in the morning, in the afternoon. We'll be having a speaker tomorrow night, and then we've got entertainment. Well, Mark's back there, our entertainment chair. Been working hard at making sure that we're all having a great time. So we're going to go ahead and open up the merchandise room for about another hour or so, if anybody hasn't had an opportunity to get some merchandise. And we will be closing this up I think I have a couple more readings. Love our literature. Who has We Do Recover? I'm just seeing I'm an addict. We do recover when at the end of the road we find that we can no longer function as a human being, either with or without drugs. We all face the same dilemma. What is there left to do? There seems to be this alternative: either go on as best we can to the bitter end, jails, institutions, or death, or find a new way to live. In years gone by, very few addicts ever had this last choice. Those who are addicted today are more fortunate. For the first time in man's entire history, a simple way has been proving itself in the lives of many addicts. It is available to us all. This is a simple, spiritual, not religious program known as Narcotics Anonymous. And just for today, who's got the just for today?
Hey everyone, Kenny Hennis. And just for today, tell yourself, my thoughts will be on my recovery, living and enjoying life without the use of drugs. Just for today, I will have faith in someone in NA who believes in me and wants to help me in my recovery. I will have a program I will try to follow to the best of my ability. Through NA, I will try to get better perspective on my life. I will be unafraid. My thoughts will be on my new associations, people who are not using it or found a new way of life. So as long as we follow that way, we have nothing to fear.
All right. We got a small group. Come on, let's circle up here on the dance floor and we'll close.
Of a supplement,
I'd like the basic. Stop it. Hold up. Let me get to the... Dang.